Giles Beckford, our business editor, who normally beams in from Wellington, is seated beside me in the Auckland studio.
I usually sit on a bar stool in the morning report, in an empty morning report studio.
Do you?
And we sit there with the little cans in the ears and a little mic that's tucked up here that somebody may have remembered to wipe with the alcohol swab so we don't pick up the earwax from somebody else. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, fine. You're looking very handsome,
I
Giles.
realise it's Casual Friday for you, but we are in the
yes,
from the
sorry.
big smoke.
Yes, well, you're a business editor, for goodness sake. What's happening in the budget?
Well,
What do you think?
I was going to talk about Ryman Healthcare and that, but let's just say people who want to find the details about Ryman Healthcare and their solid profit and the other breaking news today, look on our website, it's all there. Looking ahead to next week, we've got two big things to look out for. One's the budget on Thursday, Stephen Joyce's big day out. A lot, of course, of the goodies have already been revealed, and it's almost now against the law for a finance minister to have any surprises. The one that we should be looking out for, or two of them, is the size of the improved numbers that they have in the coffer, right? The economy's doing well, the tax take is bulging the government's coffers, and so the tax take is well up, right? That then goes through to the second one, which we haven't heard much about, which is tax cuts.
Yeah.
Right? I think the general consensus is that there will probably not be significant tax cuts, if any, in this document, but they will lay out the plans for future tax cuts and dangle some generous numbers, perhaps. They may tweak the thresholds. In other words, people who have been dragged up, they may raise those thresholds so that more people get a little bit of, at the lower tax rate. And the other thing is working for families, which Stephen Joyce has already said is difficult, it's complex, it's far too complicated. So they may at least give some indication there about where they're going to provide the help for lower and middle income families. And the degree, and this is what the economists and the like will be watching, is to what extent does this put money into the economy, stimulate the economy, a bit of free spending? And that flows through to what the Reserve Bank thinks. Yeah. Because if there's a lot of money sloshing around the economy, the Reserve Bank sometimes gets a little bit nervous, thinking it can generate inflation. But if the money goes into infrastructure, as we expect it will do, then the Reserve Bank will be more than happy to just quietly sit on its hands for the next year or so, as they've indicated, and keep interest rates steady at 1.75%.
Stephen Joyce's first budget, Bill English's first budget.
I think they're cut from the same mould.
Yeah, it's going to be fifth.
I think they're two men from the same school, but expect numbers that are in rude good health.
What's happening at Fonterra, Giles?
Well, Fonterra next week, they have their meeting where they will give us probably the final payout for this year. We're expecting that it will confirm $6 a kilo, possibly a little bit higher, perhaps $6.20, because we've had a good run of prices in the recent auctions. But more importantly, they'll give us the first indication for the season that's coming. And the expectation is that they will be slightly conservative. They don't want to get too ahead of themselves, as they have been accused of in the past. And from that point of view, don't be surprised if it sits around $6 or just above that. Right. But the expectation, once again, from those who follow these things closely, is that the global supply and demand equation, it's roughly coming into balance now. So all those big stocks that were hanging out there and depressing prices, they're sort of been used up. And the overproduction that was occurring in places like Europe and the United States, that's falling. So from that point of view, the best guess is that somewhere around $6.70 might be the end price for the 17-18 season. In the big ballpark number, that's about $1.5 billion added to the economy. That's what pays the taxes. That's what helps Stephen Joyce balance his books.
How'd the markets?
The markets, I can tell you, are a positive day for shares. Top 50 index up 20 points, 73.92, and the New Zealand dollar a bit softer, 68.9 US cents, 92.7 Australian.
Giles Beckford, lovely to have you here.
My pleasure, thank you, John.
Off to cut a swathe at the Cannon Awards.
Hoping we come back with a trophy or two.
Good luck. Have a wonderful night.